can just see things cooking in your face.
You can't wear those here, Rob.
I didn't want to be recognised.
What do you mean recognised? People are going to think that you're like a star, a celebrity.
Well, I am. I've been invited to open the VIP area.
No, I got invited to. I'm the only award-winning actor here. I got invited. Okay, you just came in some fancy sunglasses.
Look, it's what famous people do. I should have worn a baseball cap as well, actually, but I think I'll just stick with these dark shades.
We're supposed to be looking cool. You just look like you're in costume.
But you could have made an effort. You're in a hoodie.
I am in a hoodie. I'm trying to keep it real, Rob, okay?
Oh, it's very nice, though, isn't it?
It is nice here, to be fair. I like the crushed velvet seats.
Yeah, lovely banquette, you could call it.
A little banquette. Yeah, you know when you sit down and the other person on the other side of the banquette pops up?
Pops up a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's like that. That must have been very expensive. We should explain.
Nice.
We're in the newly... Well, it was kind of Ken's brainchild, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He wanted to bring a different style of clientele to the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So he's decided to make a little section, a couple of booths in the corner, just off the cork dance floor.
Yeah.
The VIP area.
Slightly elevated, isn't it? It's just like, what, about a 3-inch step up?
3-inch step up.
A little velvet rope. I mean, velvet. I mean, I think it's highly flammable, whatever it is.
Probably is.
That little rope across there. Nice little alcove, banquettes. The VIP area. And it's just got a slightly elevated view of the big screen. So you can watch Sky Sports just from a slightly elevated area.
Yeah.
And you can get a bucket of WKDs for $7.99. So.
Do you know how expensive the privilege is to sit here?
We're not paying, are we?
Oh, we're not paying, obviously, because we've only been invited to open it, so it's fine. Do you know how much he's charging for that?
What minimum spend?
£12.49 for the ticket for the privilege.
Minimum spend.
People aren't going to spend that, Rob.
That's a lot of nuts.
People are not going to spend that. That's a lot of nuts. It's a lot of scampi fries. It's a lot of bacon fries. It's a lot of pork crunch.
I don't know. I think, is that per head or total spend?
Per head.
$12.49 per head?
Yeah.
Oh, crikey. That's going to... Well, maybe that's the point. It's going to, like, immediately shut some people out. Make it a more elevated thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't really believe in hierarchy stuff like that. Unless
neither do I.
I'm benefiting from it.
Yes, quite. Said very beautifully by I'm wearing a hoodie and you're wearing designer shades. Are they designer? Where did you get them from?
Yeah, the Ray-Bans.
Are they Ray-Bans?
Yeah. Do you like them?
Do you want me to be honest or do you want me to be
Yeah. Do you not like them?
No, I don't like them.
They're like aviator shape, but they're in plastic moulded aviator shapes.
It's like you've stolen from your mum's handbag or something.
Oh, thanks.
You're drinking
like
Heineken as well?
Yeah.
You got a Heine?
Yeah.
When's he started selling Heine tins here?
I know, well, it's just he went to cash and carry.
Oh, is he just done a run from Calais, has he?
Yeah, they're nearly out of date, I think.
Yeah, probably.
But they're cold and wet.
Yeah, cold and wet, that's what we need.
Yeah. So given that the Stage Athletic Clubhouse has launched its new VIP area, we thought we'd discuss corporate boxes. The Prawn Sandwich Brigade, you could call us today, as infamously...
Exactly.
Was it Roy Keane who said that?
I think it was, as someone as provocative
I think it was
as
Roy
him,
Keane
probably.
back in the day when he was moaning about the atmosphere at Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Oh, yeah, no, it was.
And
yeah, it was
he
Keane,
was in a match of the day interview or something, and he said, like, the Prawn Sandwich Brigade need to get involved. Yeah. And it became a sort of catch-all phrase for anybody who watches sport from corporate boxes rather than the salt of the earth on the terrace people.
Just a quick note on Roy Keane, actually, before we move on. He said some very provocative things that have alienated not only everyone in the world, but also his own fan base. How has he got away with it?
Well, he's just a contrarian, isn't he? He's a professional contrarian provocateur, and I like it. It's great.
I do. I like him. I think he's a great character, as Alan Partridge would say. But I think I just don't know how the hell he's got away with it. It's just people still love him. Although, having said that, at time of recording, was it last week? Ipswich, Amarin's first league match.
Yes.
Some Ipswich fans were like going mental at him as he was pitch side doing his Sky Sports duties and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely put a target on his back, hasn't he, by being controversial like that. But I'm all for that in a sports coverage. You want a bit of opinion, don't you?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't want the bland nature of Danny Murphy and Stephen
prime
Warnock.
example.
No, I actually like Stephen Warnock and I like Danny Murphy. But anyway.
You like Stephen Warnock? Oh, no, I'm talking...
I think he's very insightful as a pundit. I think he's very, very
Neil
good.
Warnock.
He puts in the work. Oh, no, not Neil. No.
Nobody likes
him. I mean,
you've got to die to get 3 points. You've got to die to get 3 points.
It's always the ref's fault.
Love it by being disciplined by fucking in here. Have you seen those clips
man
of him?
management. It's all about man management.
He's so good.
So it got us thinking, didn't it?
Yes,
about
did. No,
corporate sporting experiences.
Yeah.
Partly because, talk us through it. You're sponsoring it. What's going on there?
Yeah. So this has been a bit Hailzone Town heavy over the past couple of weeks. So I hope
really
you don't
playing
mind.
to the broad bit of our listenership here by zoning in on
those 4 listeners in Brazil are going to be really interested in this, aren't they? Yeah, so it got me thinking, because I am obviously, Ken has made this VIP section in the clubhouse, but I'm sponsoring a Hailzone Town match tomorrow.
What does that actually involve?
What does it actually mean? Okay, I'll take you through it. You pay 50 quid.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, Will Elliott, he's got his own company that fits sort of like garage doors and all that kind of stuff, like redoing garages.
Elliott's Doors.
It's called WD Doors.
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
There you go. This is good plugging. WD Doors. If you're living in the Midlands and you need your garage doors done.
Did they do roller doors? Doors, or is it just a solid?
Yes, it might be a solid. I don't know. I don't want to undervalue his work as a craftsmanship, but
go online to wddoorsmidlands.com.
Midlands. There you go. You're welcome, Will. You can sponsor a match if the game is sponsored by a company. So we went to Will. And this is the second time we've done it. The first time was about 3 months ago, because we did it for our friend Daniel's home stag do.
Right.
So we sponsored again. So we're doing it again for Stephen Scott, who's getting married next Sunday, who we're going to that.
Great.
And we're doing it again for him. So you pay 50 quid. You get shuffled in on the... It's really good, honestly, Rob. It's sick. You get shuffled into the players' entrance, and on the side of the pitch, near the corner flag, there's a lounge. And it's actually really
it's
good.
Not dissimilar to the stage athletic.
Well, I was just about to say that, but I'm not even joking. It's really, really good. And they really look after you. You get a 3-course meal.
Ooh.
Everyone has to have the same thing.
Yeah.
You get your programme, you get free beers, you get... You watch the match, obviously, from the padded seats in the small stand if you want to. You get a few freebies, like a pin badge or a bottle of anything. It's very, very sweet. Cheese board at half time.
Treatment.
It's cheese board with all the 3 main cheeses.
Oh, yeah.
Mild, mature, and extra mature.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really good. Red Leicester, yeah, exactly. And then at full time, you have to pick who's man of the match.
No.
Yes.
That's a treat, isn't it?
And then after the match, everyone's
man
gone.
Man of the match, sponsored by WD Doors Midlands.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So we'll leave it to Stephen to do it, because he's the stag, obviously.
Yeah.
But the last time we did it, for Dan's stag do, we picked the game because we were playing bottom of the league.
Yeah.
Which you should never do, because we lost 4-0 to bottom of the league. And Hailzone are doing really well this season, so we were like, what the hell is going on? Then we had to pick a man of the match from the home team. So Dan just gave it to the goalkeeper, who shipped 4 goals.
Who never gets it. Oh, no.
No, he shipped 4 goals. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a little bit better. But it's a really... honestly... It's great fun, and like for 50 quid, you get a 3-course meal.
How many of you get to do that?
So there's 11 of us doing it.
Oh, great! For 50 quid?
50 quid each, yeah.
Oh, per person. I was going to say that's ridiculous.
Which
a loss maker.
Yeah. Which I was trying to think about, like, because another thing we'll talk about being in the prawn sandwich brigade is like value for money, and like as the cost of living crisis is still biting us on the arse so bad, like. It's getting more and more expensive, and it's becoming more and more sort of...
And it is totally elitist. I mean, it's total elitism, like unashamed elitism, which, the world is full of that, so let's not get into a kind of socialist rant here. But, I mean, I think sporting events and, indeed, theatrical events, so I guess less so going to the theatre other than getting in a box or paying... Yeah. Well, they do it like Lloyd Webber theatres, don't they, where you can like pre-book a bottle of champagne and someone escorts you to your middle stall seats or something, which seems a total waste of money to me.
I mean, that's all about... The other thing I want to talk about is like the idea of image. You're not actually going there for anything else other than people seeing you in a position of, I use inverted commas, power and opulence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that completely takes away from the idea of theatre, going to the theatre or going to a sporting event. It's about a communal aspect. We've spoke about this a million times. We're in a space together, we're having a shared experience.
Yeah.
But what I did say to Rob as I pitched this episode idea to him, I was like, sometimes for someone who does love sport, or sometimes someone who does love theatre, it's great to treat yourself, right? Totally allowed to have that treat.
Yeah, to actually elevate your experience, go and it is properly like a treat.
Yeah.
Right, that you take in the full experience. I mean, I guess for some people it's a default thing. I know, people who work in big major banks or these large international corporates that generally have boxes at the O2 and Wembley and debentures and all these things can get very used to it. But I think the idea of having a proper full-on corporate experience where you're getting the meal, you've got a private bar, it's generally equated to premium seats.
Yeah.
It's a real proper treat.
Yeah, totally. And like, I think football especially, they kind of hit the nail on the head with it. You see, I've also, I mean, like the whole experience, if you get there, you're greeted up the stairs.
There's escalators rather than stairs.
Escalators. Not on the Hawthorns, there's still a pulley system. You sit in a bucket and they pull you up. It's a, and you get pies, free food. And the courses are great, and there's like entertainment walking around, and have you done Club Wembley at the middle band at Club Wembley?
I have actually done Club Wembley once for the Rugby League Challenge Cup final, and had Club Wembley seats, which is that sort of small row that lurks between the two tiers.
Yeah, it's like the band in the middle.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. I mean, we didn't have a meal experience there. I don't think it was just like the private bar, great seats. It wasn't like boxy food experience. We did a little bit of this on the pod last year when I went to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and had the full meal. Yeah. And you get dedicated waiter who's good chat and is treating you well and is available to sort of talk you through the menu, and then you get walked to the entrance. We weren't in a box, but we were in the bang on the halfway line section of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it was great. I mean, it was really good, and you emerge. And of course, this is why they always get a bad name, don't they? Because the fans are in like 40 minutes before kickoff, soaking up the atmosphere, getting a few beers.
Exactly.
And all the prawn sandwich brigade are literally eating prawn sandwiches and, deer with roe sauce and a little, wine flight. And they finish their desserts literally like 5 minutes before kickoff, sometimes later, and just appear at the last minute. And they're banging in sight of the camera, of course, so it really highlights it all and galls everybody.
It's weird at Wembley.
Where have you done it?
I've done it at Wembley.
Yeah.
The Wolves ground.
Oh, really?
Which is odd because I'm an Albion fan.
Yeah.
I've never done corporate at the Albion, ever. I'd really like to. I've done some sort of premium experience at Wimbledon, which was gorgeous.
Oh, God, I bet that's great, isn't it?
That was gorgeous, because obviously...
it's like that restaurant that sort of floats above...
Yeah, that's the one.
Just behind Centre Court, where they come out and show the trophy on the balcony. There's that posh restaurant there, isn't there?
Oh, no. Do you know what restaurant that is?
What's that?
That's for players and press, so that's the press centre underneath,
Oh, yeah.
So that's players and press, and coaches, you're not allowed to go in there. Now, as you come into Wimbledon through the gates, take a left, and on the right-hand side is Centre... Yes, it's Centre Court, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused. And then if you look up, there's like a few big sort of restaurants. The higher you go, the more sort of...
elitism. Who's allowed in, the higher you go.
So, the higher you go, the more elitist it becomes. So I was sort of like middle... I was like premium economy. Let's go that far.
Yes, yeah.
And... the food was incredible, incredible. Because I'd worked there the year before, and a friend of mine was there. I was like, "Why don't you just come in and do some like half of the debenture stuff?" I didn't get a debenture seat. I was like, "I'll let you in here, and we'll do all this stuff." It was great, really good fun. We did a bit of masioki in a box in the cricket.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Really
we started out on the. Obviously, we talked through, and keen listeners can go back to that episode if you haven't listened to it, but we went to the T20 Blast finals at Edgbaston, and Masioki, who we interviewed a couple of weeks after, the big mass karaoke band invited us, and they had a box, and it was great in there, wasn't it, sitting, and we were literally just the two of us left after they packed up and gone home. It was great, slowly drinking ourselves into oblivion, but that was great.
Well, I've actually worked in a few corporate things at the football.
That's really gutting, though, isn't it, when you know what it's like? Had you been before, or had you worked before you'd had the experience?
I'd been in a corporate box at Wolves, I think, before I'd done it at Spurs. But basically, I was at uni, and then I needed a bit of extra cash. So it's like a typical recruitment agency asking for bar staff and stuff. And I was in a box.
Yeah.
With just, similar age people, and they do treat you like shit. It's horrible. It's not really, it's not great. But it was quite interesting to see the amount of work that goes into it. I mean, the food, some of the chefs were incredible.
Yeah, I mean, these are proper, like, restaurant standard kitchens, in stadiums. I mean, why not?
And you do see some great people there. Ozzy Ardiles, who's a Spurs legend. He was also a West Brom legend. Met him, he was great. Unfortunately, Greg Wallace was there one day, which was not fun. Which is very topical at the moment. But what about you? Where have you been? What's been your favourite, or where have you been corporate-wise for sports?
The times I've really enjoyed it have been at horse racing. I've done it a few times
what a show.
on Boxing Day races where a friend of my sister's, Trevor and Helen, take a box at Wetherby Races every Boxing Day, which is a lovely day to go racing anyway. Yeah, it's great. And Wetherby and Kempton are like the big Boxing Day meets.
Yeah.
The box is right by the finish line, and you're in there, and you arrive, and there's all like nibbly things and pork pies and just things to graze on.
Yes.
And then once you're a couple of races in, then they deliver like a nice hot meal, and it's not high end, it's just in big tureens heated sort of stuff. It's chickens and veg, and it's a bit of a Sunday dinnery thing.
Premium
and then
economy.
Yeah, it's great. And then the cheese board arrives and the desserts, and then there's just more to nibble on. And then you've got a staff member in there with the bar just serving you drinks constantly and topping you up. But the nice bit as well, which really helps, is there is a betting booth just by all the boxes.
You've got your own private betting booth.
So they'll actually come in and do your bets in the box if you want. They'll just bring a little handheld thing. Or you can just go to their little booth, so you don't have to go in. I mean, it's also great being at a race course and you go down and you see all the bookies and do all that.
Yeah.
But it's also lovely when someone's coming in and taking your bets.
You don't have to be in the throng.
Yeah.
And you think you're an extra in Enron or something.
Yeah. But that's a really nice sort of little elevator treat to a day out, especially when it's cold on Boxing Day. So you've got a balcony, so you can go out and get in the atmosphere and take it all in and wrap up, and then you just retire back into the box to warm up. Yeah, that's really, really nice.
It's really interesting how you just worded that as well. It's quite interesting that when you go, you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm still here to watch the sport, and I'm still here for that. It's quite quickly that you revert back to, or you fall back to the default of actually no, I'm gonna pop in and have another couple of canapes and live this life for the next 3 hours. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, totally. Oh, it's great. It's really nice, and especially when racing where it's sort of event to event to event. So there is a bit of lull time where you can retreat into the box, have a bit more food, have a drink, have a natter, catch up, and then you all go out again for the race. Whereas in a big game day, obviously, you want to be out there in the seats for most of it. You don't really want to be, if it's a 90-minute soccer game I keep saying soccer recently.
Yeah, you do actually. Why do you keep doing that? It's football.
I'm so into American sports these days.
Crazy.
I'm just calling it soccer.
That's sacrilege, bro.
I have done a bit of Lords as well. That was great.
Oh, I bet that was great.
But that was more just a bench of seats. It was great seats with an access to a bar. I didn't do the full food experience there.
Well, they say the elite business class version of Lords is actually probably not that great. As we've seen, the members there are pretty vile to some of the play. I mean, do you remember the Ashes?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were horrible. I mean, they're the kind of people I probably wouldn't want to watch a sporting event with. And all that kind of stuff. The problem is as well with it, and I alluded to it earlier, the problem is I have been in, I think it was more Club Wembley. I've been to a few Club Wembley matches, and Club Wembley isn't a box at Wembley Stadium. It's the band you get. It like I say, it's just slightly zhuzhed up from economy.
Yes, a comfier seat, a padded seat.
Padded seat. You get your own. There's better restaurants.
Yeah, you're allowed to pay a bit more for your burger, aren't you? It's really nice.
It's really good of them. You can have a meal in there as well. You can book a meal, and that's quite nice. It elevates, and you meet a couple of. We met. We went for the Arsenal Man City Charity Shield ages ago, and met a couple of Arsenal stars, like Ray Parlour was in there and stuff. Anyway, even there, I was walking around and seeing, namely influencers just taking pictures of themselves with their lanyard and all that kind of stuff, and I'm a bit like,
it's all about a lanyard or a nice foily ticket, isn't it?
It's very on my head at the moment because I've been sort of half dating someone at the moment who's very image orientated, and it's just really annoying. Yeah, and I'm like, no, I don't. I mean, I'm
is this the one you found 500 miles away on some app?
Yeah. 500 miles away on some app. The posh app, the Raya, which is quite good.
Oh, that's great. Oh, well done. I'm still awaiting approval.
Are you really?
Yeah, can you go in and befriend me or something? And let's have a word.
But the image thing, it's just, it really grinds me, and it's just like, why are we taking pictures of these pies before we eat them and putting them on social media? Just go see a therapist.
Yeah. Also, what am I talking about? I've had one of the most vippy, high-endy, ultimate prawn sandwich experiences of my life. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but years ago, one of my very best mates, Elliot Cowan, really great actor, successful actor, does a lot of telly, and years ago it was like a Thursday, and I got a call, and he was filming Poirot somewhere, and he was like, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, not too much, nothing that can't change. Why? What are you thinking? And he was like, have you got a passport? I was like, yeah. He was like, have you got a dinner jacket? I was like, yeah. He was like, okay, this woman Kirsty's going to be calling from Louis Vuitton, LVMH or whatever, who own Moet de Chandon. And he said, she's going to call this afternoon and we're going to Paris for the weekend.
Well,
I was like, all right. Have I never told you this? I can't believe I've never told you this. So I got a call from Kirsty, and she's like, "Hi, Rob. Yeah, so listen, we'll get the Eurostar tomorrow
exactly
afternoon."
What Kirsty is, what she looks like.
Yeah,
exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the backstory is that Kirsty and her boss, who is like head of something at Louis Vuitton, Moet de Chandon, are big equestrians and love their horse racing. So every year they would take people to Paris, to Longchamp for the Arc de Triomphe, the Prix d'Arc de Triomphe racing, but not just the racing. So she said, Rob, we'll set off on Friday night, we'll get the Eurostar, and then we'll head to the family chateau of Moet de Chandon. We'll be staying there for the weekend. Friday night, we'll have a meal at the Moet de Chandon chateau, so we probably should wear dinner jackets. Yeah, Saturday lunchtime, we're heading to the monastery where Dom Perignon founded Champagne. We're having a 5-course lunch there. Saturday night, we're going to the palace of Louis XIV. We better do DJs again, actually. And then Saturday, up to Longchamp for the Arc de Triomphe. And then back Sunday night. I was like, okay.
Okay, so, that sounds great, Kirsty. Thanks very much.
So I hadn't seen Elliot. We met him at Eurostar because he was filming. And we got on the Eurostar with Lady Victoria Harvey's sister and her millionaire Indian businessman boyfriend, a couple of Hollywood movie producers, a great fashion designer called Osman Yousafzadeh, an equestrian artist, Elliot, my mate, all with their friends. And they just identified future up-and-coming creative talent in the industry, invited them away to Paris, to Reims.
And invited you.
And I was Elliot's plus one. Thank God he was single at the time. And and we had, we stayed at the family chateau of Moet de Chandon. We were put in this beautiful room. On the bed was a bottle of Christian Dior Eau Sauvage for each of us, a bottle of Moet de Chandon, a Moet de Chandon umbrella. We stayed there all weekend. We had a 7-course meal designed around different vintages of Moet de Chandon champagne, all evening, designed by the family chef.
Rob.
Then we spent the evening with staff walking around with Jeroboams of Moet de Chandon on their shoulder, just topping us up all night as we got round the piano, started singing songs and getting drunk. Then on Saturday, we went and had a tour of all the champagne cellars in Reims, had lunch at the monastery of Dom Perignon for 5-course lunch designed around 5 different vintages of Dom Perignon. Then in the evening, we had a 7-course meal at the chateau of Louis XIV. Again, different champagnes from all the region where it had been paired with different meals. And then on Sunday, we got
Is this an episode of Succession or something? Like, what the hell is going on?
I can't believe I forgot this. Dude. And then we went to the racing at Longchamp where we were hosted in the box of Moet de Chandon.
Who gives a shit about that? I want the food. What did you have?
It was incredible. And what happens, of course, when champagne is stored for years and years and years, is the bubbles basically leak out the bottle. And so you end up, we had this 1974 bottle of Moet de Chandon with our dessert, which was yellowy, lacking in bubbles. And it was like a beautiful dessert wine where the dessert was all designed around it. It was madness.
Rob, that is that sounds absolutely glorious.
Yeah.
I would love something like that.
It was a really special experience and memory, and it was great. And we were like in the chateau playing boule in the grounds in the afternoon, hanging out and all. I can't believe I forgot that. It's one of the most truly wonderful weekends, and it's a great memory that Elle and I share. And of course, it's like properly like turning left on an aeroplane.
Oh yeah. No, I'm sure.
And having that full experience. And everybody was lovely and delightful. And we hung out and had a great time, some great chats. And there was some sport around it.
Fuck the sport. That's not important. I'm sure it was brilliant. Did you feel ever out of place? You're from Wakefield. Was that tough for you?
Well, it's funny you say that because I think when I'm in those situations...
Oh, we're actors. The character comes out like that. Yeah, we know what we're doing. Rob's nodding his head. Yeah,
we know
what we're doing.
Because it was like, I'm there and I'm the plus one. Obviously, I was acting. I was doing some gigs. I'd had some things to talk about, which was fine.
Yeah.
But it's actually with Elliot, who, he went to boarding school, he went to a posh boarding school called Uppingham.
Yeah.
He was a boarder there. And I remember going to his speech day a few weeks after we'd met on day one of university and met MPs and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And a bit like that occasion, I think what happens to me is I big up the northernness.
Oh, do you?
And
I know what
the
you mean.
accent comes out, and I'm very articulate, and I'm very fun, and I'm very inquisitive, and I go into interview mode. But I sort of go a bit northern because I'm like, I've got as much right to be here as you.
Too fucking
I don't
right,
have
Rob.
a mansion
Too
in Chelsea
fucking right.
like you
Yes.
do, but I'm also one of the most interesting people here.
God,
and
yes.
I do all that sort of stuff. Do you
I'm
know
exactly
what I mean?
the same. I mean, I waved. I have to make sure I wave that working class flag
Yes.
whenever I'm at, regardless of whether that's an accent, whether or not
Yeah.
I say the F word halfway through a sentence. I don't know, but it's very odd how that happens. But it's because I suppose we're in an industry sometimes where, you know, sometimes we're not supposed to be here, I use in inverted commas, and like it's harder for us to kind of be recognised in that industry. So like, fuck yeah, you wave that flag when you're there. Too right.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's just great to, I think, I'd see it as a bit like you were saying, as almost my purpose just to equalise the situation as well.
Yeah.
And I think actually what it does do for people is, I mean, it's going into a bit of psychoanalysis here as well, but when you come at someone in adult, they will come to adult with you, and if you lower your status to them, they will elevate their status.
Exactly.
So it is in your gift sometimes just to equalise the quality of a relationship by just coming in peer to peer.
Totally, yeah. It's very interesting that you spoke about being interview mode. When you go into that curiosity, that psychoanalyst, the adult is always curious. And then if you're meeting adult with adult, there's curiosity between both sides. And it's like, actually, tell me about you. Tell me about where you're from. And it's always on an equal footing. That's the kind of main point. If you would attack being subordinate or dominating, the whole relationship conversation's off. And when you're in those positions where, you know, you want to have a nice time, those equalising the relationship instantly, that's the whole point. Look at this bit of Sigmund Freud or whatever it is going on. Jesus.
It's great. I mean, I must have told you this, but I remember, like, you know, years ago before the controversy, meeting Kevin Spacey, again with my friend Elliot, and we'd been to the theatre to see Elliot, and Kevin was waiting by the stage door at the Donmar, which is internal. It's not like one of those external stage doors. And you come out and it's near the bar area. And Elliot came out, and I was really proud of him because he came and hugged me first, and then he went to Kevin afterwards, and then he introduced us. And because I think it's really important for him not to be awestruck and stood and being goofy around them, to just pause and say, "Hi, I'm Rob, and what's your name?"
Yes.
You know, and then
totally
he was
agree.
like, "Hi, I'm Kevin." And allow him the right to introduce himself, normal, peer-to-peer, not be like, "Hi, yeah, I know who you are." He doesn't know who I am. He's there just chilling, wants a nice night. He's come to see a mate in a show. He doesn't want a sycophant around him.
Exactly.
So you just come in and equalise it, going, "Hi, I'm Rob, what's your name?" Great. I think I might have said, "What do you do?" But that was just me exposing it.
Being a dick. I think you've actually very eloquently put something that I've never been able to describe or articulate properly before. Because I describe it as, I don't like standing on ceremony. I don't like standing on ceremony with people because it creates an imbalance in the relationship or the conversation at least.
Yeah.
But you've described it really, really, really kind of eloquently and articulately. And it is true. It's about creating a space where both are equal.
Yeah.
And only when you're equal, well, we can make it bigger into societal global change. Only when people are equal can you get the best out of people because they feel comfortable, they feel blah, 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 blah.
Totally. It's the key to life. And I would say it's also, you look at something like the success of Graham Norton's show.
Yes.
Everyone who comes on there feels peer to peer.
Yeah.
Graham Norton is a peer. He's not sycophantic. He takes them on. He takes the piss out of them. They feel very comfortable and relaxed. Therefore, you get the best version, an open version of them. And I would say you put that in contrast to Jonathan Ross, who I think is always on the edge of sycophancy or taking the mic away from them and trying to be funny or witty for him.
Yeah.
And it's just not a patch to watch. You know, the experiences are very, very different. And again, I would say Rylan, it's one of the successes of Rylan.
He's brilliant at it,
because he's authentic.
Well, that's the other word as well, authenticity.
Yeah.
If you come across and you said very, very rightly, I think, in terms of appearing with your adult, because, you know, you do look at someone like Jonathan Ross and it's like, he does seem like a bit of a teenager and a child going, look at me, stamping my foot.
Yeah.
And at that point, you know, you've got Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe going, who the fuck is this guy talking to me? Like, this isn't about me. He's just having a wank on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, very important. But honestly,
Rob,
one
second, Jack. Jackson, can you get some drinks, for God's sake? What are you doing stood there? We're in the VIP area. Get some drinks, please.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think it's all about equality, status, authenticity, isn't it? And just treating everybody as you'd like to be treated. So.
What was he doing again? Trying to get drinks?
I don't know. Ken's grandson, Jackson's meant to be in charge of the VIP area, but he's over there on his phone. God's sakes.
That's really...
Does he know who we are?
I know, £12. You're wearing bloody bug eyes you are on those sunglasses.
I'm wearing 50% off Ray-Bans from the online Instagram sale. Crikey.
And this hoodie was vinted, this is. Vinted. Really expensive, this.
Oh, dear. Brilliant.
Oh, bless. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, this episode has been a little bit rambly, but I've really loved your description of your Moët de Chalon.
Yeah, we're both open for invites.
Oh, yes, please.
Kirsty, if you're still out there and happy to be listening, we're happy to come to the Arc de Triomphe next year.
I'll dumb my accent down for you, Bab. Don't worry about it.
You, Jack and I will happily come and speak to the hoi polloi with the horses.
But I think it's important to realise, going back to that failed Raya relationship that I started a couple of weeks ago, I think it's important to be able to find someone who can do both and feel comfortable in both.
I really do. I do as well.
And I think, Rob, they are privileged positions to be able to be in circles where we can be both.
Yeah, I think.
And what's wrong with having a treat at the horse runs and having a free pie, or sitting here having a couple of WKDs in the VIP section?
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, you see it, don't you, in awards and things, when people take their family to things or give them the experience and let people have that moment is always a great thing. All right then, well, have a lovely week.
Mate, I will do. I'm going to have another 10 or 12 bags of scampi fries to get that £12.49. I feel sick about it. It's fine then. Okay. Jackson, just a box of... No, just bring the box. Yeah, scampi fries. Scampi fry. He's getting fired. This is not good enough.